Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to another video. After a couple of years of heavy use, it became apparent that it was time to recover my table. There are a number of different problems emerging with it. For instance, there were burn marks by the brake line and where the pack sat, since over time the initial acceleration of the balls as you strike them burns away the nap. A corner of the table didn't play straight, and there was an odd discoloration up by the cushion at the bulk end. Everything here just needed a rejuvenation. So, welcome to my video about the process of how I went about recovering my table with this lovely Hainsworth match cloth that you see just here. I did plenty of research and made lots of calls before settling on my provider. An excellent gentleman called Robert Bondi, who runs the company The Pool Table Guy. Now the link for that is below in the description. And having seen a huge number of his recovered tables and looked at a lot of photographs of his work, I also saw his entry on the Hainsworth Fit list. Robert came over to the Pool Lounge in Luton the other day to sort my table out to what I now deem to be a professional standard. Now the video you are watching seems to be filmed a little out of continuity. I can tell you now that during the process we encountered what we can only describe as a technical problem with the cloth, which, sometimes happens. Robert not only sorted the issue out, but he also committed to coming to my place over the course of 2 days. I can only say that his perfectionism is exceptional and the quality of his work is second to none. So that you are aware, my old cloth was supposed to have been a Hainsworth Smart cloth. However, to be honest with you, I'm not so sure that the person who sold me the table actually really gave me that one after all. I've replaced it with a Hainsworth match cloth, and as I said before, I'm going to be doing a review of that in a separate video. You should also be aware that I'm not being sponsored or paid for any part of what I am saying in this video. These are all my own opinions and reflections on the process that I've gone through. Now to the recovering process. Almost all pool tables should have a number of catches underneath the playing surface attaching the cushions to the tabletop. The first thing you have to do is release these to access the slate bed. In your standard pub pool table, these catches should be accessible from underneath the ball returns, and you're going to have to remove the coin mechanism to get to the rest. On the pub pool table there'll be hinges opposite the coin mechanism. My table, being a pool diner, has catches all the way around, and the first thing we did was remove these and take the tabletop off so we could access the cushion bolts underneath. The cloth itself comes with strips for each of the cushions. First, Robert removed all of the staples, there are a lot of staples, before he was ready to recover the cushions. Working efficiently, once all the staples were removed, it was time to remove the old cloth from the table. Now, this is where we identified what was wrong with the original cloth. The table had originally come straight from factory to my house, and the factory fitted cloth was covered with glue where glue should never have been. Therefore, not only was there a discoloration towards the bulk end, but it also created an ever so slight roll towards the top right pocket, which is why the table always played with difficulty into that pocket. Robert removed the old cloth and prepared the slate bed for the new one. He scraped all the old glue off from where it shouldn't have been and deep cleaned the slate. This gave me the chance to, fix a couple of issues with the table and gave us the chance to clean the inner workings out. And as you can see, lots of gunk had built up over the couple of years of use. Further to this, Robert tightens up the table legs, and now the table no longer has any lateral movement when I am playing on it. I can only say that the original fitters didn't do a brilliant job. Robert then stretched the new cloth over the slate, taking care to ensure that the glue he used was only placed on the edges and none of it on the playing surface, as the pool table used to have originally. He then carefully recovered the cushions, and once the table markings were done, it was time to put the table back together again. Now, I've deliberately removed the marking process since Robert wanted his technique kept to himself, but you can see that I've decided to go for the ultimate pool line configuration here. I'm really surprised that this line marking isn't just standard practice in every place that there is a pub pool table around the country, or any pool table for that matter. Not only does it ensure that you place the triangle on a straight plane, but since you are no longer dropping the black ball into the middle of the pack, as you're calibrating the pack by the ball at the bottom end, it prevents damage to the cloth over time. Finally, Robert helped me re-level the table. He takes great pride in this process, and we fiddled around with it for a good half hour or so, making micro adjustments to ensure perfect consistency. Eventually Robert reached underneath and tightened the frame, and now the table is perfectly level all over. Now this new cloth is a game changer. I've never played on a professional standard cloth before, and I don't think I'll ever be going back again. I don't want to go into too much depth since I'm going to do that separate review later on, but this is the best playing experience I've ever had. The service from Robert was highly exceptional and totally professional. When a problem arose, he went out of his way to ensure that it was sorted as soon as possible, and actually to his own personal detriment. He really did go out of his way to make sure that I had the best results, and I can honestly say that I think I do. It is like playing on a new table in a professional environment. I absolutely love it. So thank you, Robert, for such an excellent job. And there you have it. My table is better than new. I'm going to be posting a separate review of the match cloth presently, so watch out for that video. I would just like to say another big thank you to Robert, the pool table guy, and say that you will find a link to his website down there in the description. In the meantime, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you again next time around. Goodbye.